And due to circumstances beyond my control, we're back. Wednesday, 22nd day of January 2025. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us. And yes, it's cold. It's 18 degrees here in the big city. At one point, Omak was at 10. A couple of hours ago, Winthrop was at -1. That's 33 degrees below freezing, if I am understanding correctly. And this cold, dry Arctic air pattern has no real end in sight until perhaps next Thursday. We're going to be dealing with this for a long, long time. There's going to be a little short wave that's going to kind of zip in and out. It's not really going to affect us much at all. That'll be Thursday night into Friday. We'll see a few more clouds, perhaps, slight chances of some light snow in some locations, not here. Yesterday when we visited, they said that we'd have about a 10% chance of some light snow Thursday night into Friday. Now they're saying not at all here for the Wenatchee Valley. Forecast details are on the way, but this pattern just continues. We haven't had a lot of rain. We haven't had a lot of snow. We've just had a lot of sunshine and cold temperatures. And I think that's the way it's going to be for quite some time. News, yes, sports. Congratulations to Ichiro. He's going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Didn't get the unanimous vote that a lot of people were hoping for, but I don't think he's complaining. We'll talk about that when we get to sports, plus your latest prep scores from yesterday. And I can't believe it's been so long since we had Darcy Christopherson on the show. Way too long. She dropped by yesterday, so we tapped to interview Darcy Christopherson, the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. We'll talk all things apple blossom, mostly centered on the royalty selection pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Darcy will be joining me in the back half of the program. Lots to get to today. One slide, and one slide only, from the National Weather Service. That's the slight chance of snow tomorrow night into Friday. Again, not a lot happening here in the Wenatchee Valley. It doesn't look like we're going to get any snow at all. And even the mountain passes aren't going to get much. Maybe a little bit of dusting in the Mid-Howe Valley, in the Mazama, Winthrop area, maybe into Twisp and that area there. I don't think Pateris or any of those areas are going to get any snow at all. This is a very weak system that's passing through. It's also not packing a lot of moisture. It's kind of zip over the top of us. Outside of that, as long as this high pressure ridge is sitting just off the coast of Washington State, it's just sitting there. It will eventually move. It will eventually weaken. When? We don't know. They say probably not until Thursday of next week. In the meantime, just sunny and cold. So there's the one slide we have for you today. And again, even those places that are going to get a little snow are going to get just a little snow. And that's about it. They had a good head start on the snowpack in the mountains, but that was a long time ago. Now it's been an exceptionally dry January. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Sunny and cold, high of 35. I guess cold is relative. Our normal high is 34. Our high yesterday was 32, but we got all the way down to 15 for the overnight low yesterday. We're at 18 now, so we'll be about a degree warmer, or 2 today than we were yesterday. 23 for the overnight low. So the overnight lows aren't going to be quite as cold as we've seen. They've been in the teens for the most part. We do it all over again on Thursday. Lots of sunshine, high of 33. A couple of clouds Thursday night. They won't last very long, and they're not going to be very thick. They'll be high up there in the atmosphere. 26 for the overnight low. Right back to sunshine on Friday. Upper 30s, right around 38 or 37. Right around there on Friday. Saturday, sunny, 35. Sunday, sunny, 35. Monday, sunny, 35. Tuesday, sunny, 35. Maybe Thursday of next week we'll start seeing some changes. That's the long-term forecast. In the meantime, hey, at least it's sunny. We'll take that, but we can really use a lot more snow in the mountains. Anyway, that's not happening. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have your headlines on this Wednesday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Clear skies, but another chilly morning. It's 18 degrees. We'll be mid-30s today. Lots of sunshine. You saw the forecast. It's an unbreakable pattern of just cold, dry Arctic air. Highs in the mid-30s. Overnight lows right around 20 with nothing but sunshine for the foreseeable future. 7 minutes after the hour, 3 Moses Lake men were arrested on Monday for allegedly taking part in an assault and a carjacking. Grant County Sheriff's deputies say the incident took place in the Wheeler community on the edge of Moses Lake at about 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon. The victim told police he stopped his car to pick up 2 men asking for a ride. When they arrived at a nearby home, the 2 men allegedly began beating the victim and were joined by a third person who stole the driver's keys. 33-year-old Lazaro Castro Salvador, 32-year-old Enrique Leon, and 37-year-old Francisco Romero, all arrested. They all face possible charges, including second-degree robbery, and all 3 men are being held in the Grant County Jail. Speaking of Grant County, a woman from there is accused of leading East Wenatchee police on a chase throughout the city. This happened on Monday night. They only stopped her after officers had to use a pit maneuver, and they had to do it twice. 36-year-old Brittany L. Moss allegedly drove away from an attempted traffic stop at about 9:30 on Monday evening at 5th Street and North Colorado Avenue. And that's where police tried to pull her over for speeding and an expired registration. Moss was driving a white Nissan Altima, and according to officers, she then ignored stop signs, crossed the center lines while fleeing attempts to stop her. One pit maneuver was ineffective, but a second pit maneuver stopped the car in the 100 block of North Kentucky. Police are seeking charges against Moss, including DUI and eluding a traffic stop. The East Wenatchee Police Department has ventured into the realm of video podcasts. It's called Interrogate Us. It's a new series where top cops take questions about law enforcement. It streams on the East Wenatchee Department's Facebook and Instagram pages. In the first edition, Police Chief Rick Johnson and Assistant Chief Eric Hampton take on questions about cannabis enforcement.
Is there a minimum age requirement for the possession and consumption of marijuana?
In Washington State, it's the same as alcohol, and it's 21 years of age.
How much recreational marijuana can a person possess in the state of Washington?
For this one, it's
Losers.
Hey, we're doing a podcast here. Yeah, hey, we're working on that. Sorry.
up to 1 ounce of usable cannabis, 16 ounces of marijuana-infused edibles, and up to 72 ounces in the liquid form.
Okay. Where can somebody legally use or consume marijuana in the state of Washington?
This is a commonly asked question we get. You're going to see people do violate this law and abuse this one sometimes, but it is technically in a private residence where the owner or the person in control of the residence has given permission. So not in public parks, not in the street, not on the sidewalk, not in view of the public.
Can a person receive a DUI when they're on marijuana?
They can. Similar to an alcohol DUI, if you're under the influence of marijuana, which the tests are similar that check for signs of influence, you can get a marijuana DUI. and it's pretty common in our area.
The wheat farming communities of Mansfield and Waterville were awarded a little over $44,000 to support local projects. The Mansfield Community Fund was awarded $35,000 to support 3 projects, including furnishing Pioneer Hall with new tables and chairs and enhancing Main Street with heritage-themed displays. Funding was also secured by the Mansfield Museum and Historical Society. They want a complete restoration of the Great Northern Railway Station's Foreman House. The Waterville Community Fund distributed a little over $9,200 for another 3 community enrichment projects there, including to the Waterville Food Pantry for exterior building maintenance. The North Central Washington Fair will get funding to complete renovations of the open class horse barn, and the Waterville Main Street Association will use the grants to bring festive holiday experiences to downtown. Chelan County's Public Defense Agency has just finished its first year at their new home. Since they began back in 2007, the Council for Defense of Chelan County kept offices right down the street from our studios, 115 South Chelan. But last year, the team of 10 lawyers and 6 support staff moved to their new offices in Mission Tower at 303 South Mission Street at the intersection of Kittitas and Mission. Jeremy Ford is the 2nd director in the history of the Council for Defense. He says the new office helps maintain the agency's mission of providing legal defense for anybody accused of a crime in Chelan County.
Here is our entrance. Oops. My name is Jeremy Ford. I'm the Executive Director of Council for Defense of Chelan County, a public defense firm here in Chelan County. We represent all indigent people here in the county that have been alleged to have committed a crime. So we are essentially a nonprofit, and we get all of our money essentially is from the county. We get a small, I think it's about 5% of our budget comes from the state. Other than that, we're relying on that. We rely on our budget for a contract with the county. So we contract with the county to represent people. We were just looking for kind of a newer place and a place a little bit more ADA accessible. That was one thing that always worried me as being a director there. We really weren't able to accommodate people with disabilities as well, because we had, we didn't have access to the upstairs, and the front of the stairs contained steps for people with wheelchairs. So it was really kind of, something I looked at when we moved to a new place. And the other place was getting older. We had issues with, holes in the walls, windows that didn't work, windows that were, stuck open, that kind of thing. So this building is newer. We invested in building these offices, which money we had saved. The other place was a little bit closer to the courthouse, but we're only really about a block and a half away from where we were before. So that's what we like about it. I think it's a good representation for our clients to look around and see, oh, they have a nice office. We used to have paper files. You're required to keep files based on the level of the crime. Adult Class A felonies are lifetime. Class B felony, I think they're 10 years, and Class C 5 years. So we used to have to retain like physical files. So at our old space, we had 2 rooms that were just full of files stacked from floor to ceiling, which was interesting if you had to go down there and look for an old file. Now it's a lot easier because with our collection system, you can just go through and pull it off online. Everything is cloud-based, so we have all our storage cloud-based, but there's a lot of storage. Now what we did is we went through and we actually hired somebody before we moved, and they scanned all the paper files into the electronic system. So everything that was in a previous client's file is still in the file electronically. I always grew up, we were underprivileged. I grew up like a lot of these people we represent. I have a lot of addiction in my family. I was divorced. My family was broken up at a young age. My father was an alcoholic. My brother was a drug addict who's now passed away. So I think I can relate to a lot of these people, and I think that's what keeps me going in this, and I think that's what's important about this, is to remember these are people and not criminals, which is what I think a lot of people like to paint them as. But to be honest, I see, a lot of the people I represent every day. I have clients that work at, regular jobs. I was always taught you had to protect the rights of the worst people out there to protect the rights of everyone. And that's kind of how I've always done things. In order to be in this, I think you really have to have a commitment, especially to be in it more than 3 or 4 years, because that's usually people can make it through a year or two without, too much problems, but after that, I think is when you kind of separate people that really want to be public defenders and people that, you know, just want to be lawyers.
And the Women's Service League of NCW bringing back their annual My Girlfriend's Closet. It'll be March 13th through the 16th this year. The event is going to be held at the recently vacated Big Lots building out in Old Station. Of course, drop-off donations are held at different locations. If you're out there, you can drop off belongings for My Girlfriend's Closet at Heidi Huddle Allstate Insurance and Standard Paint and Flooring, both in Wenatchee, and at the Town Toyota Auto Sales Department in East Wenatchee. Clothing items accepted for donations, gently used or new. Women's clothing, shoes, handbags, wallets, swimwear, bras, accessories, the whole 9 yards. The following weekend, the Women's League will be holding their prom dress giveaway. I'll look forward to talking to those ladies again this year, as we do every year. And that's the news at 16 minutes after the hour. If you think it's important that you know what's going on around here, we'd like to fill the bill with our news. Grant and Eric delivering the news and the sports and the weather, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Every Monday through Friday, 5, 6, and 10. If that doesn't work into your schedule or you prefer to consume your news via the internet, we got you covered. Our news will be up and running, posted on our Facebook page at 5 o'clock, a little before perhaps. Same deal with our website, NCWLIFE.com, and our YouTube page is a great place to go as well. In fact, all of our shows are archived on all three of those locations. And if there's something out there that you think warrants our attention, you get a hold of us. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Ella Stimo!
Join NCW Life Channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCW Life Channel.
"19 minutes after the hour. First of all, Ichiro is going to the Baseball Hall of Fame. The Baseball Writers Association of America voting him in yesterday afternoon, with 393 of the 394 ballots turned in, had his name checked off. He becomes the third Seattle Mariner to earn election, along with Ken Griffey Jr. in 2016 and Edgar Martinez in 2019. Also elected yesterday, starting pitcher C.C. Sabathia and relief pitcher Billy Wagner. Those three, along with Dave Parker and Dick Allen, will be inducted in Cooperstown on Sunday, July 27th. T.J. Bamba scored 21 points. Brandon Engel had 15. Number 15, Oregon, defeated Washington 82-71 in Eugene last night. Great Osabor had 20 points and 8 rebounds to lead the Huskies. The Huskies have had a rough introduction to Big Ten play. They've lost 5 in a row, all against ranked teams. To the Prep boys basketball scoreboard, Cashmere improves to 12-4 on the year. They took care of business against Clay Ellen, beat them by 20. Quincy got by Othello in boys basketball. Ephrata upsets Okanagan 68-55. Chelan improves to 14-2 on the year. They beat Brewster 59-39. Liberty Bell over Cascade in a big way, and the Tenaska boys took care of Bridgeport. More Prep basketball scores. Lake Roosevelt improves to 13-2. They're playing good. They rolled over Manson. Garden City Academy beat Easton. LaSalle over Moses Lake Christian. Cascade Christian Academy dispatched with Thorpe. Soap Lake crushed Pateras. Girls basketball. Clay Ellen knocked off Cashmere. It was Othello over Quincy. Okanagan defeated Ephrata. Brewster over Chelan. Cascade over Liberty Bell. In other girls basketball, there was a lot last night. Tenasket over Bridgeport. Lake Roosevelt doubled up on Manson. Moses Lake Christian got rid of Cascade Christian Academy, and Pateras crushing Soap Lake. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 21 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday, there are a number of them. It's Franco-German Day to celebrate the relationship, the now peaceful relationship between France and Germany. Ironically enough, Franco-German Day is celebrated in Germany, but not in France. I don't know why. It's Ukrainian Unity Day. There hasn't been a lot of that lately. Answer Your Cat's Questions Day. It's National Polka Dot Day. We're not doing any of those. Hot sauce. About half of all American cupboards have at least one bottle of hot sauce in their pantry. I have about 7. Cajun hot sauce, garlic hot sauce, super hot sauce, not so hot sauce. Native American populations in Mexico, Central and South America have been cultivating chili peppers for about 7,000 years. Mexico alone grows over 140 different varieties of chilies. The general rule of thumb, the smaller the chili, the hotter it is. The #1 selling hot sauce in this country is the Tabasco brand of hot sauce. By the way, chilies are good for you. They are cholesterol free and have lots of vitamins. I love hot sauce. I put it on almost everything. Not almost everything, but a lot. I mean, just a couple of little on your whatever it is, and you're good to go. We move forward with Today in History. There are busy news days, and then there are busy news days. And January 22nd, 1973, 5 unbelievable events happened that would have been the lead story on any day, except it all happened on the same day. 52 years ago today, the Supreme Court of the United States delivers their decisions in Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton, legalizing elective abortion in all 50 states. The ruling did not apply to this state, by the way. Abortion was already legal in Washington state. That was on this date 52 years ago today. On this date 52 years ago today, our chartered Boeing 707 explodes in flames upon landing at Kano Airport in Nigeria. 176 died. At the time, it was the deadliest air accident in history. That would have been the top story of the day, except 52 years ago today, the Ford Motor Company recalled nearly 4 million automobiles after a flaw is detected in the steering system. Gravel would be getting into the steering system, and all of a sudden you couldn't steer your car. 4 million automobiles recalled by Ford. At the time, it was the largest auto recall in history. That would have been the top story of the day, except January 22nd, 1973, 52 years ago today, in a bout for the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship in Kingston, Jamaica, undefeated challenger George Foreman knocks down undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion Joe Frazier 6 times in the first 2 rounds. The fight was stopped. Down goes Frazier. George Foreman upsets Joe Frazier to win the heavyweight championship. Nobody saw this coming. And all of those things would have been the top story of the day, except it wasn't. Because late in the afternoon on January 22nd, 1973, Lyndon Baines Johnson, the 36th President of the United States, dies of a heart attack at his ranch in Texas. He was only 64 years old. He was only 4 years, almost to the day, removed from the White House. That, needless to say, was the top story of the day, and those other 4 stories were put to the side. What an unbelievably busy news day that day was, January 22nd, 1973. Other things, 96 years ago today, January 22nd, 1929, the New York Yankees announced that they will put numbers on the backs of their uniforms. They become the first team in any sport to put numbers on their uniforms. Now, they all have numbers, of course. The numbers are based on positions in the batting order. So Babe Ruth wore number 3 because he hit third. Lou Gehrig hit fourth. He wore number 4, and so on. It is now, of course, every team and every sport. If it's a team sport, you wear a number. Lou Gehrig was the only Yankee ever to wear number 4. He was the first one to wear it. They retired it when he retired in 1939. But when Babe Ruth left the Yankees in 1935, they didn't retire Babe Ruth's number until 1948. So after Babe Ruth retired, George Twinkle Toes Selkirk wore number 3. So did Bud Metheny, Roy Weatherly, Eddie Bachman, Frank Coleman, Allie Clark, and Cliff Mapes. So Lou Gehrig was the only Yankee ever to wear number 4. 9 people wore number 3 before they retired Babe Ruth's numbers. And Super Bowls. Super Bowl XVIII. Super Bowl 18, Tampa Stadium. The Raiders defeat Washington 38-9 to win Super Bowl 18. It was the first Super Bowl won by a team based in Los Angeles. In fact, a Los Angeles-based NFL team has only won 2 Super Bowls. The Raiders on this date and the Rams just a couple of years ago. The AFC would not win another Super Bowl for 14 years. The AFC dominated the first 18 Super Bowls, and then they went on a long losing streak. And of course, since the game was in Tampa, obviously the halftime show was a salute to the superstars of the silver screen. Super Bowl 18 on this date in 1984, and Super Bowl XXIII, that comes out to 23. The 49ers defeat the Bengals at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. The traditional date of the Super Bowl was always the second to last Sunday in January, but this was the last Super Bowl to be played on the second to last Sunday in January. It was moved to the last Sunday in January the next year. Now, of course, it's in the middle of February. This was the last time the Super Bowl kicked off on the East Coast during daylight hours. On the night before this Super Bowl, Stanley Wilson, the best player on the Cincinnati Bengals, was caught using cocaine in his hotel room. Well, it was Miami, and it was the 80s. The halftime show, Bebop Bamboozled in 3D, and 49ers head coach Bill Walsh announced his retirement after this Super Bowl. And we have birthdays, and they are all heavenly birthdays. Many people consider this guy perhaps the smartest person ever, Lord Byron. He was English, he was a poet, he was a playwright, he served in Parliament. He was a revolutionary in the Greek War of Independence and one of the historical leading figures of his time, even though he only lived 36 years. Historians estimate Lord Byron's IQ, they can't measure it anymore, he was born in 1788. They measured his IQ at about 200. They think he was not only brilliant, but really brilliant. And his writings, by the way, hold up to this day. He was born in the state in 1788. Fred Vinson was a judge and a politician. He was the 13th Chief Justice of the United States, the 5th person in American history to serve in all 3 branches of the federal government. He was a member of Congress from Kentucky for a long time. Then he joined the cabinet as the Secretary of the Treasury under Harry Truman, and then the Chief Justice of the United States from 1946 to 1953. He is the last Democrat to be the Chief Justice of the United States. For the last 72 years, the Chief Justice has been a Republican and the undisputed king of soul, Sam Cooke. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, part of the initial class. Great songwriter, great producer. I could listen to Sam Cooke all day. In fact, I have done it before. Sam Cooke was shot to death in 1964 at the age of 33. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Their Cash for Clunkers program is up and running just in the nick of time because it's been cold. If something's wrong with your heater, or maybe it's just old and needs to be replaced, your first call is Alpine Air. Ask about the Cash for Clunkers program. It's a rebate thing. Pretty good deal. All right, when we come back, Mike McNaughty has an opinion about what I can't remember because I put it in the system yesterday. And then Darcy Christopherson talks all things apple blossom, specifically Royalty Selection Night. Darcy will join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Angie Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Who's trying to stretch their budget this January? That's pretty much all of us. That's why Abby's is offering this giant pizza that can feed up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 hungry people for less than $27. Now, that's an Abby's budget stretching deal. Worried about a no-fun January? Not at Abby's. Dine on our Bacon Cheddar Special. It's delicious and loaded with toppings and real cheese. Plus, it's on sale, and the kids can play some video games. Enjoy fun January at your local Abby's.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm in the grocery store one Saturday morning, and I need to use a regular check stand, not the self-check thing. Now, guess what? There is no check stand open. Does this business not realize that the check stands are where their money comes in, and taking my money for their stuff is what they're in business for, isn't it? Well, isn't that the point of their business, for them to offer me stuff that I'm willing to give them money for? You know, I know there's issues with getting enough employees, but there are people who work in these local businesses who've told me that they need more hours, but they and other employees' hours are being cut and they can't get enough. Now, I got no problem with a business working to improve their bottom line, but is it getting to the point that some businesses seem to have forgotten that they are dependent on customers like me, customers who have other options? And if it gets to the point where a business priorities tip the scales to where they think they're doing me a favor to take my money, well, there's little question as to why some businesses go belly up. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off the lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Welcome back to the program. It is my bad that this lovely young lady to my immediate left has not been on this show earlier. I don't know why. Darcy is a longtime contributor to this program, huge supporter of the station. For those of you who don't know, this is the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, Darcy Christopherson.
Hello.
Back. Hello, friend.
Hello.
Stranger. It's been
I know.
I
Just
know.
has gone by fast. As we get older, it seems
Yeah.
that time has definitely gone by.
Thank goodness neither one of us have gotten older.
And no, I think you might be just a tad older than me. Just a little. Just a little.
Let's go back to January 7th. There were 28, 29?
31.
31. I'm
Yep.
sorry, I lost track of that
That's
stuff.
okay. That's okay.
Senior girls from East Wenatchee High School. And on the 7th, they went through the process and they whittled it down to 10. Not an easy decision for the out-of-town judges. Something a little new this year for the 31 lovely young ladies vying to make the top 10, and that was the new interview process in the morning of the 7th, not open to the public.
Right.
Talk about that change and why it came about.
Well, we actually did that in like 2003. We did do that at one time where we kind of wanted to make it like a mini pageant. So we did that in 2003, and then I can't remember, it was so long ago, why we stopped doing that and went back to the schools, 50% of the vote, and the judges 50% of the vote, just based on speeches only. But what we've learned from our judges is, our past judges, is that how are we going to get to know these girls when we say, you know, they need to be a genuine 18-year-old, they need to be able to walk into a room and talk to an 80-year-old or a 5-year-old. And the judge was like, how do we know that in a speech?
You don't.
You don't. So we decided, well, what if we kind of brought back a little bit of panel interviews and one-on-one interviews that we do for pageant that has never been open to the public, and bring that element to top 10. So we just did like a mini panel / one-on-one where the girls were asked a couple questions from their bios. They obviously know the answer to that, and then had very simple impromptu questions. They had to go in and shake the judges' hands and stand in front of these 5 judges, and the judges just shot questions to them. It wasn't timed, like pageant. Both sessions are timed for 10 minutes. This was not timed at all. So some girls it took 2 minutes, some girls 3. I think the most was maybe 4. But it just kind of gave the judges a good feel of how the girls interact on when they show up at a service club.
They have to be able to think on their feet, and they have to be somewhat. They have to do impromptu kind of stuff throughout the entire process. Just by making a 3-minute speech that you wrote yourself in front of people just does not give you an idea of how well-rounded this individual is.
Yeah, and the majority of their appearances, honestly, are 2 to 3 minute moments. You know, they walk into a service club, they introduce themselves, and they sit and eat, and then they give a little speech about themselves. So never do they give a 2 to 3 minute speech, really, for anything when they're in royalty. So again, when the judges because every year I have a critique moment with our top 10 judges and our pageant judges, and it really was a full circle, like, we need to bring this back. So we made it not stressful, and the girls actually were super excited about it. We were nervous that they would be like, oh my gosh, another element, I'm gonna freak out. Honestly, they were like, this is awesome, because they don't want it to be all about the speech. You know, they want it to be more about them and their personality. So that made me really happy that you know, they liked it. So we're definitely keeping it.
And the 5 judges that whittled it down to the top 10 preferred as well, right? I mean,
they loved it. Yeah. It's harder, actually, I think, for the top 10 judges than the pageant judges, because you literally are interviewing 31 girls. So we did it in bundles. So it was Eastmont first and then Wenatchee. So they judged the Eastmont girls, and then they got a little break, and then they judged the Wenatchee girls. And the same scenario happened for speeches. So that was easier for them. But it's a lot of girls. So that's why we wanted it to be more simple for the panel and the one-on-one, or the panel / one-on-one, and not as stressful as pageant is, because there were so many girls.
Where did you find your 5 judges for the top 10
so
whittling
we just
process?
kind of,
because they did a good job.
They did a great job, and some of them have been pageant judges before. In fact, 2 of them, which I really kind of wanted with this new process to make sure that they knew the drill, I guess. But you know, we just kind of have a group of judges, a list of judges that past judges have given me names. I'll meet people somewhere at events and I'll be like, oh my gosh, you'd be a great judge. One of them, that happened. So you just kind of get a feel for them and kind of watch their stuff and and you just
they did a great job.
They take it very serious.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's so great about this process and these judges that are from out of town who really don't know anything about apple blossom, and then they come and do this process and they're just in awe of it. And they a lot of them use it in their work, you know, as far as interviewing for new staff, or they just love apple blossom when it's over. They just are passionate about helping these young women for their future. It's pretty cool to watch.
A couple of days ago, all 10 of the candidates came in one-on-one to do their sit-downs with our very own Eric Granstrom. You'll be seeing those the first week in February leading up to the pageant on the 8th. I got to meet, I think, about half of them. I work odd hours, so I'm usually out of here by noon. From the 5 that I mentioned that I saw and I met, this is a great group. They were very gregarious and open, and this is a cool place to be, and they were kind and thoughtful, and good luck to the judges on Saturday the 8th. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah, and again, I think this process has helped them get ready for this process. We had Jen Mueller come and help them in December, because these girls decided to run in November. So in November, they got their speech topic. So we wanted to help those 31 girls get ready for this process. So now, you know, they are on stage, practicing on stage. They do the one-on-one interviews. So a lot of the things that the 10 are doing, they've already done. Where in the past, you know, we had to teach them how to do a panel interview. We had to teach them how to walk on stage. And now it's not like that anymore. So these 10 girls are very, very prepared because they've already had it. So that's awesome. But we still practice all that stuff for sure.
And the pageant itself, of course, has changed so much over the years. And the vetting process has changed because you have to. You can't do things the same way you did 15 years ago. It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. And that's really how we do this process with the 10 girls is we tell them, yes, we're getting you ready for pageant, but we're really getting you ready to be royalty, because literally Sunday morning you put a crown on your head and you go to the Wild Huckleberry and have breakfast and go over everything about your year with last year's girls. So we don't want to tell you to have your hair done and your makeup done and what you should wear. You should already have that figured out by the time that crown's on your head. So that's why this process is. And we have so many amazing volunteers and we call them our coaches, that help these girls with etiquette, media, interview outfits, speeches. I mean, we have like 3 different people that are helping them with how to answer an impromptu question, how to write a speech, how to present a speech. It's just, I so wish I would have had that at that age. It's just amazing, these people that really donate their time and lots of it to make this an amazing experience for these 10 girls.
Back on Friday, the top 10 candidates went to the Pybus Puppet Market, the local event center, participated in the Empty Bowls painting fundraiser for the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council to benefit our mutual friend, Alan Walker. Then they went to the Wild game against Lethbridge on Friday night, something they've been doing since the Wild have been in existence. And something really cool happened on Friday night. It was an impromptu kind of, can you help us out, ladies? Talk about that. It's a cool story from Friday night.
It is. So I got a text or a call actually from David. I don't know is it David or Dan?
Dave Rayfield. Dave's in charge of the game.
Yeah,
he does the promotions and all that stuff.
He does. Great guy. He called me and said, hey, do you have any national anthem singers? And it's really hard for me because that's something that they're not telling us, you know. They may be in choir, but I'm very strict about the national anthem. It's like you have to be able to sing the national anthem. You can't wing it, right? So I just sent a text. We have a group text going out, and I sent it. So do any of you sing the national anthem? And I mean, seriously, sing it. So a couple of them texted me individually and said, well, I do, but it would be fun if we did it with so-and-so. And I'm like, well, I didn't even know that person was a singer because I just don't know that part of them yet. 4 of them said we'll do it. And I said, okay, you got to meet and make sure that you can sing it. And then one of the girls did it in sign language, and it was amazing.
And it all came
literally
together
happened in 5
like
minutes.
in 5 minutes, because the national anthem singer was sick, couldn't do it. So that's
it was cool.
That's one of those cool little apple blossom stories.
There's so many cool apple blossom stories, really. It's just it was a great bonding moment for those girls. I think one was from the river, 2 was from Wenatchee, and 1 was from Eastmont. So that's always my favorite part too, is just how they create amazing friendships. I know they're doing a sleepover in February at one of the girls' houses, and they'll be friends forever because of this.
Speaking of February, Saturday, February 8th, our cameras will be there. We always encourage people to watch it on television or a Facebook stream, but to be there in person is something else entirely. Where we are tickets for the big pageant on the 8th, presented by Kedron Bank.
I think it's almost sold out. Yeah, you need to get your tickets like that. Yes. Well, the lower level, with just families, I don't put a limit on families anymore. It's like, if you want to go, you bring your people, bring as many as you want. So with the families and the sponsors and the Apple Blossom family, it's pretty much sold out on the bottom. But as you know, the Performing Arts Center has the balcony's awesome. I love sitting in the balcony. So balcony's available, $35. Just go to the PAC. You can do it online. But I'm pretty sure it's getting sold out. For sure.
Lions Club on board again as usual.
Lions Club's on board. Alex Haley's our director. We had our dance rehearsal yesterday at Fabulous Feet, so we're ready for that. We have 4 boys that are going to be escorting the girls throughout the night. 1 from the River Academy, 2 from Eastmont, and 1 from Wenatchee High School. So they'll be helping us out. Again, super fun to have these high school kids volunteer their time and make it fun for the girls.
The girls are now going to realize that yes, this is the final royalty selection pageant. We'll have a queen and a princess by about 10 o'clock on the evening of Friday the 8th. But they also have to put on a show. Mm-hmm. This is for entertainment.
Yes.
To bring in to sing and dance and do cool stuff, and that for a lot of people could be intimidating and a challenge, but that's part of the deal.
Well, they never have to sing.
That's true.
They will never sing, and they do a little dance, but Melissa and Katie and Tracy, they make it so it's very simple for the girls. It's very cute this year, but yeah, they make it pretty easy, and it's a good icebreaker. A lot of times the girls don't realize that until dress rehearsal night, that it's like, oh, that made me feel so much better. Just being out there. Could you imagine just going out and giving your speech?
No.
And not having like an icebreaker of any sort. So the dance number gets everybody ready. The girls, the judges, everybody just is like, okay, now we're ready. So that's why we do it. And they get that by the time Thursday hits for dress rehearsal. And then that night, they're just having so much fun. They're like, oh my gosh, we did that. Now it's time to do this.
The theme for this year's festival is the best time ever. Mm-hmm. Does the pageant have a theme again this year?
It does have a theme.
And it is?
It'll be magical.
Is that all you're going to tell me?
That's all I'm going to tell you. It's a tough one to kind of do a whole theme. So all I can say is that the pageant will definitely be magical.
But you have to watch it. You have to see it.
You have to watch it. And again, if you know a girl really, really well, I really encourage you to buy tickets and go. Because you're there cheering her on. And then if she continues on or not, you're there to support her at the end. We always have a big reception right outside the lobby area. So you're able to go and bring her flowers and congratulate her no matter what. So if you know someone, I think it's really cool to have those girls be supported by the people that know them as much as they can. And I always encourage people too that have young girls, ages like 8 on up, to start bringing your daughters to pageant, because 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3 of them, but for sure 2 of them have been going to pageant since they were 8 years old. And it's just,
it plants that seed.
They just are like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this. And it's not like fairy tale-ish. It's like real. They're like, I want to do this. So I just really encourage people to do that. And it's about your speech and your confidence. It's not a beauty pageant. And I think those girls get that feel. They're like, okay, this is a cool thing.
Well, you bring up an important point since we're talking about that. Junior royalty. That process is like almost upon us, right?
Yeah, it's happening. The fifth graders will, in fact, I just picked up the labels at Wenatchee School District. Fifth graders in the Wenatchee and Eastmont School District will be receiving an invitation to do an essay for junior royalty. Those will go out at the end of January. Then they'll have the whole month of February to write the essay. And then private schools in the Eastmont and Wenatchee School District are also eligible. You have to live, though, in East Wenatchee and Wenatchee to be a part of it. And we usually send information to the principals and let them pass them out to the fifth graders. And then I usually go and take posters and stuff like that. So we'll have a junior royalty announced the first week of March. And ironically, one of our junior royalty queens is in the top 10. And then our junior royalty queen currently, her sister's in the top 10. So it's really kind of fun how, that junior royalty process has, made, again, girls excited to run for Apple Blossom.
And we've had, it was a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago, I can't remember her name off the top of my head now, I feel bad about that. She was in junior royalty and she ended up becoming queen.
Yeah, that's happened. I know a couple times that's happened. I'm not, Justine Vanderpool.
Yes, Justine
Vanderpool.
Yes.
And then I think Maggie Chavilacek was a junior royalty. Lauren Ferguson was junior royalty. So it does happen. I mean, there's years that none run. There's years that one run, and then some of them don't make it at all. We've had all three one year, and they didn't continue on to top 10 or royalty. So, it just kind of depends on what's out there. But anyway.
We need to backtrack just a little bit. You're stressing about getting tickets because it's almost sold out. How do you get tickets? Can you go to the box office?
You can go to the box office. Okay. I don't think they open until 10 though.
Okay.
But you can go online anytime and get your tickets. And then I think you can just print them out or they're on your phones.
On your phone, right.
And then, but you can also go to the box office at 10. Don't come to the festival office. Go to the box office.
You cannot buy tickets at the door. You cannot.
You cannot.
All tickets are sold in advance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're usually sold out.
Yeah.
So last year we were totally sold out.
So.
Yeah.
We will be televising it in its entirety with a half-hour pregame show.
Yes.
With Eric Granstrom and 1974 Queen Julie Agents Kuntz, who wants her son Stephen and his lovely wife Judy to move back to the Wenatchee or Eastmont School District so Caroline can run. They live in the Cashmere School District, so Caroline can't run right now.
No,
they have time.
They have time. They have, 10 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Which is not very much time.
I know.
Those 10 years go by way faster than what they used to.
Stephen and Judy move to Wenatchee or East Wenatchee and do it soon.
Yeah.
Anything else while I have you? Because we're almost out of time.
I encourage people to go to appleblossom.org to fill out all applications for the Grand Parade and the Youth Parade and Art for Kids and anything and everything Apple Blossom. Once the letters go out to Junior Royalty, then all that information will be online too. So that way everybody will have a fair advantage with the topic. And we do have some really cool clothing. Go online and check that out. We have a awesome hoodie, navy blue hoodie. We have a cream colored beer garden hoodie. We have a cute full zipped pink hoodie that is so cute. Well, hooded.
I have 12 hoodies in my drawer.
That's what we're trying to do is kind of get away from too many hoodies because I'm the same way. So we kind of change that up a little bit, but we do have hoodies again because people love hoodies.
Yeah, they do.
But go online, and we do have a lot in stock at the office. So if you see something online, just call us. We can pull it for you, and then or you can order it online, and we'll have it pulled for you.
Darcy Christopherson making her very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Don't forget, again, the pageant on February 8th at the America Performing Arts Center. It'll be live on television, live on our Facebook page. It'll be streaming the following Monday. The Royal Court will be guests of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Eric and Julie always do a great job.
They do.
The hardest part for their job is the first half hour.
Yes.
Because once the pageant starts, they just get to sit there and watch it.
I'm their last interview, usually.
What do you do? Well, last question. When the pageant is going on, I mean, you make the opening remarks, and then you begin the second part after the intermission when you hand out the awards and then the top three. What do you do during pageant?
I sit at stage right. They don't let me do anything. They will not give me a headset. They will not give me a microphone. I have all that for rehearsal, But then when it's pageant time, I don't get anything.
That's probably why the
I
Central
know.
Lions Club has done such a phenomenal job in putting this pageant together.
Yeah.
Because once the curtain opens, Darcy's involvement is minimal at best.
Minimal. I literally sit there and I pace.
Yeah.
You know, I want them all to do well in their speeches. So I just sit there. And then, of course, at intermission, I meet the judges with Steve and the principals and sit in my little corner there, too, because, again, they don't let me do anything. So they do it all, and then they come into the other room and
that can't be easy for you, but we won't get into that. That's another conversation
it's a whole other. You could write a book.
Yeah.
There's a book about it, I'm sure, about how I have to let it go.
Darcy
but I do let it go.
Darcy Christopherson, the administrator of the Washington Apple Blossom Festival, appleblossom.org. It's all there. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
You're watching Wake
Happy
Up on
New Year.
Thank you. Yes, don't just. It's almost February.
I know.
You're watching Wake Up on Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. Music Theater of Wenatchee presents Black Comedy at the Riverside Playhouse the weekend of January 24th, January 30th, and February 1st. Tickets can be had at the Numerica Pack box office. The Cashmere High Drama Department presents Disney's The Little Mermaid at the Cashmere Middle School Auditorium January 31st and February 1st, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snow blowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
It was 18 degrees when this show started. It is 1 hour later, and it's 18 degrees. It is cold air. Cold air is very dry air. We're used to it this time of the year. Of course, the relative humidity is bone dry this time of the year, and the sun just keeps right on shining all over north central Washington. One thing at the start of the show that I didn't mention that I should have, the days are getting longer. Pretty dramatically. We're gaining a little over 2 minutes of daylight every day. Sunrise this morning was at 7:38. Sunset tonight, or this afternoon, if you will, 4:48. That's 9 hours and 10 minutes of daylight. That's 2 minutes and 24 seconds longer than it was on Tuesday, and it'll be about 2.5 minutes longer tomorrow for Thursday. And the sun just keeps right on shining. There's one weak little system on Thursday night into Friday. You'll start noticing some clouds. I still think we have that slide ready to go to let you know where some areas may get some light snow. We're talking pretty light snow, just enough to make maybe the driving on Stevens Pass a little dicey. I-90 and Blewett, they're not going to get any pass at all, at least Snoqualmie. Well, they won't get any snow at all. And maybe a little bit of light snow up in the Medhow Valley, and I mean very little. Outside of that, just bountiful sunshine, just a couple of clouds tonight and a few high clouds on Thursday night, and that's really about it. Outside of that, just sunny and dry and, well, temperatures about normal. It's just that the overnight lows have been really cold. The afternoon highs have been right where they should be, but it's been chilly in many locations. From the National Weather Service, here we go. Sunshine and a high of 35. We hit 32 yesterday. We'll be a little bit warmer today. We have a little bit warmer start to the day today. 23 for the overnight low. Again, you'll see some high clouds if you're out and about tonight. A few high clouds Thursday. They won't last long. We'll call it partly sunny and a high of 33. A little cooler on Thursday. Friday, sunshine, gobs of it. High of 38. Friday night, clear, 21 for the overnight low. Saturday, sunshine, lots of it, 35. Sunday, sunshine all day. High of 35. Monday, sunshine all day. High of 35. Tuesday, sunshine all day. High of 35. They say maybe Maybe Wednesday night into Thursday is when things will start to change. But right now, that big dome of high pressure is parked right off the coast of Washington State, and it ain't going anywhere. That's it for us. Have a good and safe Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.